You know, when you're scrolling through your feeds and it feels like everyone is doing the exact same dance or maybe using the same like trending sound.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So today we're diving deep into that whole world, the relentless pressure creators face to constantly chase those online trends.
Mm.
You, as a listener, you see these fads come and go, right?
Mhm.
And we want to kind of pull back the curtain on what that actually means for the people, making the content.
Yeah, what's really going on behind the scenes?
Exactly. Our mission in this deep dive is to really unpack this whole cycle of trend chasing, explore some of well, the less obvious downsides.
The hidden cost.
Yeah, the hidden costs, and ultimately see if there are maybe more sustainable paths for creators out there.
Right.
We've gathered insights from creator discussions on places like Reddit and Twitter and just general commentary on what it takes to stay visible online.
And what's fascinating here is just the sheer force behind these trends. It's almost like there's this invisible current just pulling creators along,
Yeah.
urging them to constantly adapt and, well, replicate what's popular. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's like deeply intertwined with how platform algorithms actually function.
Okay.
They're sort of designed to identify and amplify content that's already gaining traction. Think of it like a wave, right?
Right.
The algorithm detects that initial ripple and then pushes more content that aligns with it, very quickly building it into a huge wave. And this creates a powerful follow or fail dynamic for creators who are aiming for visibility.
Okay, let's unpack that algorithm piece a bit more then. So it's not like the algorithms are consciously telling creators what to do,
No, not directly.
but more that they just reward content that's already doing well. It almost feels like the platforms are saying, hey, if you want to ride this wave of attention, your best bet is to jump on the trends that are already forming.
Precisely. That's the incentive structure.
And the shelf life of these trends is just so short, isn't it?
Oh, incredibly short.
We're talking days, maybe a week, tops, before the algorithm's focus just shifts to the next big thing.
Exactly. These trends often reach their peak within a really, really compressed time frame, typically like 3 to 7 days.
Wow, that's fast.
It is. And this incredibly compressed time frame, it sort of leverages a psychological thing, fear of missing out, FOMO.
Right. Yeah.
FOMO, by just the constant visual reminders of viral content everywhere on our feeds. And the platforms, well, they benefit from this urgency because it drives continuous content creation, keeps users engaged.
Makes sense.
So this rapid turnover creates that feeling of needing to jump on something immediately or, risk being left behind. What's interesting to consider is whether this constant pressure is truly fostering creativity or just driving a cycle of imitation for, like, fleeting attention.
Yeah, that feeling of it being mandatory, that's something that really stood out in the material we looked at. One Reddit user put it really bluntly. They said, before brands came to me, but now I have to chase brands. And the worst part is I got ghosted by most of them. That's just a stark illustration of how this trend chasing can, shift the power dynamic.
Totally.
It sounds like creators are feeling forced into constantly pitching ideas, often maybe low-value ones, just to try and get on a brand's radar.
Right. Throwing spaghetti at the wall.
And frequently not even getting a response back.
Yeah.
Ghosted.
That observation is absolutely key. If we connect this to the broader creator economy, it raises questions about a potential, devaluation of truly original work.
How so?
Well, when the primary focus becomes just mimicking trends, it can be significantly harder for creators with, unique styles and original approaches to gain traction and attract meaningful partnership.
Right, they get lost in the noise.
Exactly. And the Twitter thread we looked at really echoed this. It described the constant jumping on trends as basically running in place.
Running in place.
Yeah, I can see that. A huge amount of effort expended for what feels like very little lasting impact or real gain.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. What's the real cost here? Beyond just the time spent, learning new trends and churning out content so quickly. There's a significant mental and creative toll, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
The constant need to be on to spot the next big thing and then to adapt your own style to fit. It feels like it could lead to serious decision fatigue.
It really does.
It's like your brain is just in this perpetual state of scanning and filtering, which has to be incredibly draining.
Precisely. That constant scanning and adaptation, it just siphons off mental energy that could otherwise be channeled into more innovative, maybe more personally satisfying creative work.
Yeah.
And furthermore, watching your peers who seem to be achieving viral success through these trends, That can breed a lot of comparison stress.
Oh, for sure. And imposter syndrome, too.
Definitely imposter syndrome.
Right.
We saw this in a Reddit comment where someone described making sample content and building a whole portfolio with, quote, zero luck.
Zero luck.
Which understandably led them to doubt their own abilities and their own ideas.
And that self-doubt, it can be so damaging. It just erodes the very passion that often drives people to become creators in the first place.
Exactly. That desire to share their unique voice and perspective gets kind of squashed.
Beyond the mental strain, there's also a very real risk of burnout.
Huge risk.
We're talking about that sensation of your ideas just becoming stale, where even content formats that you once found exciting just feel uninspired. It reminds me of speaking to another creator who described feeling like a content hamster on a wheel.
That's a great analogy.
Constantly running, but not really getting anywhere meaningful.
Burnout manifests in so many ways, and that feeling of stale ideas is a really significant symptom when creativity becomes solely dictated by these external pressures and the need to conform.
Yeah.
That intrinsic motivation, the internal drive, it can really diminish.
Yeah.
And you couple that with the physical exhaustion that comes from those long hours.
Right. The shooting, the editing.
Shooting, editing, all under these tight trend deadlines, as many creators on Reddit have described. Well, it creates really fertile ground for burnout.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty clear picture of this treadmill and its costs. It sounds pretty bleak in some ways.
It can be, yeah.
But what's the way out? How can creators maybe step off this relentless cycle and build something with more, staying power?
That's the crucial question.
It sounds like a crucial shift in mindset is needed, moving away from just chasing viral moments and towards generating genuine value.
Exactly.
And a key way to do that seems to be by really focusing your content around a specific niche.
Yes, precisely. By concentrating on a particular area of expertise, whether it's in-depth knowledge about specific products or unique insights within an industry, creators can establish themselves as authorities.
Build credibility.
Attract a more engaged, more loyal audience. This strategy fosters what we could call long-tail relevance.
The long-tail relevance.
Yeah.
Explain that a bit.
So think about evergreen content, right? Like product tutorials or videos that offer solutions to specific problems people search for.
Okay, yeah, like how-to guides.
Exactly. Unlike the fleeting nature of trends, this kind of content keeps attracting brand interest over time because it consistently provides actual value to viewers long after it's posted.
That makes a lot of sense. So instead of trying to catch the waves of the latest viral dance, you're essentially building this library of resources that people will actively search for when they need help.
You got it.
And this also connects to how creators can maybe better align their content creation with actual business results, which, is ultimately what brands are looking for. It's about transitioning towards product-first storytelling, right?
That's a great way to put it.
Showing real-world usage, highlighting the tangible benefits, demonstrating actual results. So instead of just dancing with a product in the background of a popular sound.
Yeah, which doesn't tell you much.
It's more about showing how you actually use that product and what benefits you get. Like a detailed tutorial or maybe a genuine review woven into your daily routine.
That's precisely the shift. Brands are increasingly focused on measurable impact, on ROI.
Right.
By demonstrating a history of driving engagement, maybe even conversions, through authentic product showcases, creators can significantly strengthen their value proposition.
So use the data.
Yes, utilizing platform analytics, things like engagement rates, click-through rates to support custom proposals, shows brands that you actually understand their objectives and can contribute to their bottom line.
Okay.
And as that Reddit discussion highlighted, brands recognize and value genuine enthusiasm for their products. That low-effort trend mimicry, it just doesn't convey that authentic connection.
Yeah, low-effort trend duets don't cut it, I think was the phrase.
That was it. It really doesn't.
It's incredibly valuable to hear directly from creators about these experiences, too. We gathered a few quotes that really underscore the pressures we've been discussing.
Yeah, let's hear them.
One Reddit user shared, "I compare myself with other creators. Got ghosted after pitching 50 ideas. Brain is burning."
Oof. 50 ideas.
Yeah.
That's rough. And brain is burning, that really captures the fatigue.
It really does. That feeling of constant comparison and then facing rejection after putting in so much effort.
Yeah.
It sounds incredibly demoralizing.
Absolutely. And another Reddit comment really highlights the instability of relying solely on trends. It's a constant fight to remain relevant. One misstep and you're invisible for months.
Invisible for months.
Wow.
Wow. that underlying fear of just losing relevance, it can be a powerful motivator, I guess.
Sure, it can push you.
But as we've discussed, it can also push creators towards these unsustainable practices, just burning themselves out.
Exactly. And the practical challenges of actually collaborating with brands in this incredibly fast-paced environment are also really apparent.
Right.
As one creator pointed out, most brands take 1 to 5 days to reply. By then, the trend's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that disconnect between the lightning speed of trends and the often slower, corporate response times from brands, that creates a real obstacle.
Yeah.
The timing just doesn't work.
It really doesn't. We also saw a Reddit user point out the unexpected stress, even in seemingly straightforward user-generated content, or UGC. They mentioned that creative block hits hard.
Even with UGC. Interesting.
Yeah, this really emphasizes that even when you're trying to keep up with trends, the creative demands can still be significant and can lead to, well, added pressure and block.
And finally, a really concise and powerful thought from Twitter. Viral spikes don't pay bills, steady, targeted content does.
That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. While that sudden burst of views might feel good in the moment, it maybe gives you a little dopamine hit.
Right.
It's the consistent creation of valuable content for a specific audience that ultimately leads to long-term stability, potentially income. These powerful first-hand accounts, they just really underscore the points we've been discussing about the mental strain, the precarity, and that disconnect between trend speed and actual brand engagement.
Yeah, if we connect all of these voices, a very clear picture emerges of the challenges and the frustrations that come with this relentless pursuit of viral trends.
Right.
While the initial excitement of maybe getting more visibility can be appealing, the actual experiences of creators suggest that it often comes at a really significant cost to their well-being, their creativity, and their long-term prospects.
So to sort of bring it all together here, the key takeaway seems to be that while the allure of viral trends is definitely strong, maybe building a sustainable and hopefully more rewarding career as a creator, it likely lies in focusing on your genuine expertise.
Your authority.
Yeah, consistently providing value to a specific audience and aligning your content with real-world outcomes for brands. It's about building something that actually lasts rather than just chasing those short-lived spikes of attention.
Exactly. The focus really needs to shift, I think, from trying to constantly please the algorithm
Yeah, which is always changing anyway.
to building a solid foundation of expertise and fostering an authentic connection with both your audience and potential brand partners. That seems much more sustainable.
And on that note, here's maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. Thinking about all the pressures we've talked about today, what fundamental shifts do you think might be needed in the broader landscape for creators? Shifts that might help them find a healthier balance between participating in trends, because sometimes you might want to,
Right, it's not all bad.
and being able to express themselves authentically in a way that's actually sustainable long term. It's definitely something worth pondering. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.